love for a second hand.
Welcome to the Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast, and I had to cut Eric off before we get sued because we don't have rights to any music on here except for the music you hear dropping right now into your sweet ears. We're here. We're back after a couple week hiatus. We got moving all up and down the country. We're going coast to coast, left, right, and central, moving up, down, going down the 15, going down the, I don't know which, the 70. I'm guessing Eric was on the 70 at one
54,
point.
bro. 54.
I was on the 40.
E40, baby. Ghost ride the whip.
Route 66. I did that a little bit.
Yeah, we were on
so-
Route, yeah, we hit Route 66 too.
You-
Nice.
You want to feel old? Explain to young, like 20-year-olds now about ghost riding the whip, and try to explain to them what that hype was for about all of a year.
Oh, Josh is probably more qualified to do that than I am.
Well, you get in the car and then you move your hand as such as if you were actually going to turn the steering wheel, but then you never do it. You just go.
Or you get really crazy and you get it rolling and you jump out and walk next to it.
No, that's new. That's not what we do.
No, I was doing that back in 08.
We never. No, I
yeah,
never did
we
that.
did that. I did that with my old Saturn for sure.
Never
Yeah,
did that. Well, Brad's definitely got a suit old Saturn.
I did. I had one at one time. Miss that little booger.
You just get it rolling down the driveway, pop start it. Hasta la
Yeah.
pasta.
I did get this my for the new office.
Is that prison mic?
Yeah, it's so sick. She got me some art for my my new office.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Don't mind
I
the
love-
crinkling paper in the background there. It's okay. He's got to keep that thing pristine.
Sorry, dude. Golly.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
trying to
dude.
show the people, dude.
We're,
How about
production
the people?
value is very high here. Okay.
All one of them. Whoever
then
that
there's-
might
I don't-
be.
I don't
Then
want to.
there's
I don't want
this.
to get. I don't want to get fired.
There's this.
That's it.
Now you can't really tell what this is.
That's
Well, this
Michael
is-
and that's Parks and Rec
Jay-
chick.
Yeah, it's JJ's Diner. And if
Yeah.
you look closely in the middle there, you'll see Duke Silver with the saxophone.
Dude,
Oh, was
so
that him? Yep.
I want you to bring me all bacon and eggs you have.
Hey, do you know they have children's books with Michael as a child and Leslie as a child?
Shut up.
Yes. Yeah, I saw the Parks and Rec one.
That is sick.
Before we get too deep in the weeds and I forget, Josh, can you tell them how we got brought here on this fine, beautiful Friday night?
Well, I mean, we got here through the power of the internet. I think that's pretty obvious, Brad. But I think we should talk about Fantasy Sports Alliance. I mean, Fantasy Sports Alliance is the website that we all take part in, fsa-fr.com. Go check it out. You can go check out the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Twitch. It's all down there at the bottom. We're streaming on all those platforms, of course, as well. And we just want to say that we absolutely appreciate what FSA does for us. They allow us this new platform where we can reach more members. We're also going to be underneath their podcast feed. So if you can't find us on our old feed, that's because we're not there anymore. We're under FSA, Fantasy Sports Alliance, on umbrella, big umbrella, big. Yeah, like it's been raining here all the time. Crazy. I love it so much. But it's a big umbrella. So check it out, fsa-fr.com. You can check out all the different leagues that are going on. You can see what's happening. We have a lottery coming up soon. It's going to be pretty amazing. We'll see what happens with the old gadget guys, Brad B, and we'll see what happens with my team. I don't know what team Brad's is. No one really cares. But
The
check
Factory
it
of
out.
Sadness? How dare you?
Yeah, well, it's super sad. So please check it out, fsa-fr.com. Back to you, Bradley Dudley.
All right. That was great, Josh. Even the shot was taken. Eric, do you have your read ready?
I
Last time
do
we-
this week. Yeah.
Oh, let's go ahead and let's just drop that little nugget in there. And
All
go
right,
ahead and hit it.
Let's thank our broadcast sponsor, Football Darts. Football Darts is a dart game that combines the skill of traditional darts with the strategies of American football. This innovative dart game is played on a uniquely designed multiple target dartboard. And unlike traditional British darts, American football darts is a game that combines the skill of both darts and the strategies of football. It can be played in sports bars, at tailgate events, as league tournaments, or a leisure activity in the comfort of your home. If you want to check out their officially licensed collegiate dartboards, go to footballdarts.com. And for our audio listeners, you can put in a code there. It's iPlayFSA, all caps, all one word. You can get 30% off. For our viewers, you can see that code scrolling across the bottom right now.
Great
and
job.
if they're a bowl
Okay.
sponsor as well. So if you play FSA football, redraft, Dynasty, Monkey Knife Fight League, the DoD League, and the Auction League, if you are in the bowl game that they sponsor, you have a chance to win some beautiful football darts.
Oh.
Heck yeah, boys. Let's go.
Very nice. Let's go.
Oh, training camp's officially here. So news is flowing. We picked a terrible time to take a little hiatus because we're so backed up on news. We probably won't get to all this, but man, has there been some fantasy relevant news.
We need to take some X-Lax.
Two guys at ADP are in the first 2 rounds. Are done. Pretty much done for a hot minute.
Who is that?
Oh, well, we got little Cam Akers and Michael Thomas.
Rip the dream.
Brad cut out. Really?
Did I?
You did not on my screen.
Must have been me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I was like, whoa, boys.
Coming in loud and
Coming
clear
in
over here, Brad. Don't worry about it.
Crystal. All right. So let's talk about the big injury. Let's talk about Cam Akers. Depending on where he was with your ADP, he was a top 10 running back going. He was going in the top. ADP was there before the injury.
It was.
Not in my house.
Not in your house, but maybe in your leagues. So Achilles injury for Cam Akers. He's out this year. Before we speculate on his future, let's talk about what that means for the Rams and this year and the running back situation there. Darrell Henderson, not a 3-down back. I think we've come to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
No,
you don't think
probably can't handle that workload by himself.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Darrell Henderson is going to be the answer. But the problem is that they're not really wanting to bring anyone in. They said that they feel good with the team that they have, which is Darrell Henderson, Xavier Jones, Raymond Calais, and their third string running back is Mr. Jake Funk. Now he's not related to He's not related to Terry Funk, the hardcore wrestler from back in the day, but that is his last name.
I think it's going to be a weird situation, kind of like we talked about with the Packers running backs. Like Jamal Williams is gone now, so Aaron Jones might see that like second and third down work, and then you might see some Quadzilla. His name escapes me at the moment. Who's the other running back in Green Bay?
Oh, A.J. Dillon.
A.J. Dillon. We talked about him possibly taking like first and second down work. Those other guys, like on this team, Darrell Henderson's, he's probably going to be out there on third down. He's going to be better in pass protection than those guys. He's a better receiving back than the rest of those guys. But I could see maybe some of those younger guys taking first and second down work where they can actually like just run the ball 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
But I mean, all I want to say is I want Funk to be good. That way, my team name for all you How I Met Your Mother fans could be the Funk, the whole Funk, and nothing but the Funk.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, is that what your team name you want to be?
Oh,
I mean,
that'd be glorious.
Eric Marshall just up there with his hat on.
Oh, Marshmallow and Lily Pad. That's right, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Big Fudge.
That's all I think of. So that's all
Big Fudge.
So that's all I think about. So I mean, it's terrible news for Cam Akers. It's terrible news for this offense. I think what we're going to see, Matt Stafford probably going to be throwing the ball 30-plus times now. Before it was like, oh, they're probably going to keep his numbers down. Maybe they'll try to keep it 25 range. We might be seeing some vintage Matt Stafford.
Yep, you might. And with probably the best weapons he's had since Megatron.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Bobby Trees.
Whoa, better than Kenny Galladay? Better than Marvin Jones?
Yes.
Cephas? Quintez Cephas?
Yes. C-Cups.
We'll see. We can talk more
Bobby
about Matty
Trees.
Stafford here in a little bit.
Yeah,
he's got a tutu on now. Tutu Atwell. I mean, he's
Sean McVay is a really, really smart coach.
He'll figure it out.
And listen to his podcast that he's been doing there in the off season.
Dude, flying coach. It's great.
Dude, how much yeah. I mean, they'll figure this out. They'll work something out. They'll put guys in position to make plays, and that's what he does. So we'll see how it plays out. I think what it means here, though, is I don't really want to start any one of these running backs.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a straight-up committee. Todd Gurley's not coming through those doors. for many reasons.
They're basically in
many reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have Akers on your roster and he went down in like Dynasty, or you for whatever reason you already drafted, I mean, if you can get Henderson, he's not already gone, your free agency or with Fab or your waiver order or whatever. I mean, go get him. Obviously, you want to try and handcuff him, and even I think that's more true than ever with everybody these days, especially with a 17-game season. Like if you have a stud that's supposed to be a 3-down back, go get their handcuff and make sure you're getting every point available.
All right, so Michael Thomas is the other guy. He had ankle surgery. He's going to be out 4 months. End of June was ankle surgery, 4 months. So do the time here, do the math. July, August, September, October. We're talking Halloweenish.
Oh, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. And then like the reports are he's going to come back early, and then you're nervous about him coming back early. So the reason everybody's like, why did he wait so long to get it? So from what I heard was that after the season was over, he went to a specialist. They said rehab for a few months, come back in the spring, and we'll do the surgery. Because from what his ankle was, they needed surgery. There was no rehabbing about it. I guess he didn't like that. He got a bunch of other opinions, tried to rehab through it, tried to not have surgery, ended up showing either to the team doctors or back to that specialist. Reports are different on those two.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, you need surgery. So he had to have surgery. So,
yep.
I mean, I don't know what this means. The wide receiver core in the Saints is probably the worst wide receiver core that I've seen in a while.
It's bad. It's real bad.
So Taysom Hill is probably going to be the starter. He's been taking first-team reps. Alvin Kamara. Troutman is their best receiver now?
Oh, yeah. Is Michael Thomas's time in New Orleans coming to an end? I mean, did you see what Sean Payton? Sean Payton said, quite frankly, this should have happened earlier. Regarding the surgery, he said it should have happened in February or March. Same thing with Mickey Loomis, the general manager. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think that it should have happened earlier, but they also had some issues with Michael Thomas last year as well. And I'm wondering if Sean Payton
he's doing this on purpose. Is Michael Thomas is doing this on purpose to get out?
Is he a la Aaron Rodgers?
Well, or I mean,
if that's the medical advice he was given to try and rehab it and avoid surgery, and he tried to do that, I mean, I don't know what else you're supposed to do. I mean, you're trying to listen to smarter people than you. So
I think it all depends, though, too. Like, you know, these things happen just internally. When we talk about where this guy going off of the advice of a team doctor, or was he going to go see a specialist, like his own guy that he wanted to see? And if that's the case, then he could have done something to sit there and be detrimental to the team when the team doctor's like, hey, you need to have surgery.
Yeah, because there's one player who refuses to go to team doctors. I can't remember who it is, but he refuses to go to team doctors. Doesn't trust them, doesn't want to go. Oh, it's Kawhi Leonard in the NBA. He doesn't go to team doctors. He goes to his own doctors, got his own people. They put forth what he wants. He just doesn't go to team doctors. He reports everything to him, but you're not my doctor. Like, so there are some players like that. I mean, I
don't know. I think it's one of those things that whenever your team doctor is saying something like, hey, you need to get the surgery, and you refuse to do it, it's got to be frustrating. And I think with the issues that
I don't know if that came from the team doctor. I think it came from a specialist. So
yeah, I just think that they're getting Sean Payton especially is getting frustrated with Michael Thomas because he's supposed to be frustrated
because this is going to be the worst offense he's ever had.
Yeah, he's got Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill will probably be a wide receiver now, and they'll have to let Jason throw it.
This offense is going to be terrible, and that's why they're going to let either Jameis throw interceptions or let Taysom Hill just have very lackluster offenses.
I think it's going to be an RPO heavy.
On purpose.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's not really anybody in the draft like Spencer Rattler.
Yep. Did you see the Alabama quarterback who has never taken a snap signed $800,000 Neal contract?
Bryce Love, baby, getting paid.
Good evening, MJ.
Thanks for being here, MJ.
I mean, the NIL is real. And speaking of which, SEC boys, SEC, blowing up.
Did they announce that yet?
Oh yeah, SEC has accepted them, Texas and Oklahoma into the conference, which means your Big Ten is going to be useless.
2025, right?
Yeah, 2025, whenever their contract is up for TV rights or the Big Ten, Texas and Oklahoma. With the Big 12.
Big 12.
Big Ten
say,
is going to be completely useless. Big Ten might as well join Big 12 and Pac-12. I mean, who cares? I mean, basically,
we'll just fold in the rest of the Big 12.
There's only one conference now, and that's the SEC. We will keep Kentucky because of their basketball prowess.
Think how good basketball is going to be now, though, with Oklahoma and Texas.
Vanderbilt, you're out. Your only promise is keeping up the grades. We're probably going to boot you.
No, they're good for baseball. They're going to keep baseball there. They'll stay for baseball.
Probably going to bring Miami in or maybe Notre Dame. We don't know yet. We're accepting all applications, so you're welcome to join the SEC. But Vandy, sorry, bud, we don't care about
Notre Dame's independent, so they can come whenever they want.
Yeah,
right?
we'll probably accept Notre Dame, but we are done with. We're done with Vandy. We don't care about academics anymore. I think that's very obvious. So.
Cool. Let's jump back into fantasy football here. Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, they both showed up to training camp.
Crazy.
Both of them are there.
Yeah, they are.
And no one's on an exempt list.
Neither one of them held out a day. They all showed up on time. It is money, but
they can't waive the fines.
Looking at them like, boys, you get QB money and you pull this.
The teams can't waive the fines anymore.
Right. And Deshaun Watson is looking down the barrel of jail time. So, like, he's
frozen.
Worst case scenario, right? Okay. Because there's like 10 police complaints filed now. So $50,000 a day, you might not get another contract depending on how this goes.
That's bail money.
So I think he needs it. Rodgers obviously doesn't need the money. They offered him more. He was like, whatever. He did show up finally.
Judge.
With his list of demands / scathing press conference. I don't know if you guys watched that, but it was pretty. Everything's good. He aired out that dirty laundry, man.
Everything's good in Green Bay now. They brought Randall Cobb in. They're going to make a long deal. Everything's good. What are you looking at, dude? You're going to Adam Gase, New York Jets press conference here right now.
This is the most time I've ever spent in this office, and I'm like, what can I do with this wall?
Okay. All right. So obviously you're not excited about this Rodgers and
no, I am. I just have my own opinion. Like I think Rodgers is a chotch. I think that he's one of those guys that sat there and he's taken max money, and then he's complained about the team around him. I mean, Russell Wilson's do the same thing. These guys, they want all this money because they want to be the highest paid quarterback or the highest paid at their position, yada, yada, yada. And you look at Tom Brady, quarterbacks are allotted to make more money outside of the NFL than any other position because they're the face of a team. So whenever you go and you say, hey, does this offensive lineman have any endorsement deals? Not nearly as much as a quarterback can get, but the offensive linemen are just as important to a team when they come to blocking the quarterback's blind side. So you sit there and you take away from some of the other parts of the team and you're not as successful. There's a reason that Tom Brady's won 7 rings because he's never been the highest paid quarterback. He's never been the highest paid quarterback in the NFL his entire career. 7 championships because he's allowed them to fill out the roster with better defensive players or offensive linemen, whatever. And Aaron Rodgers complaining about this stuff, it's frustrating. I'm tired of hearing it. And then he's talking about high character guys like Randall Cobb. Randall Cobb was washed. Jordy Nelson was washed. There's a reason that the Packers didn't keep these guys. Julius Peppers, washed. Packers, the personnel from the Packers, they have a good team around Aaron Rodgers despite him taking up so much money, and he's just not able to get the job done. So I'm kind of tired of him and his whole thing and Russell Wilson, all these guys who are making all this money and complaining about the teams around them. It's their fault that the teams around them aren't that great. It's not anyone else's. It's theirs because they're handicapping the roster.
You turned your mic down, Brad.
Can't hear you, Brad.
Sorry. There you go. You'd say you spend all this money, and you always bring it back to Russell Wilson. But you don't take a quarterback in the first round if you're trying to build. You don't use your first-round pick on a quarterback unless you're planning on moving on from him.
Yeah, and the year before that, he had 26 touchdowns. 2 years in a row, 26 touchdowns. He was washed. He was not as good as he was last year. It's facts.
I don't think he was washed.
His numbers weren't as good, but I would say he was hurt, and the offense probably wasn't.
You get him really there. There's other stuff. There were better. Let's be honest. That Jordan Love pick is going to be a bad pick. It's going to go down as a bad first-round pick, a bust of a first-round pick, a wasted pick.
Many teams do that. The Packers.
Many teams do it.
Very
but
well.
How many teams straight up just say, I'm taking a guy that we already have at the position that we don't need to fill when we have other holes on defense?
Yeah.
It was a bad football move. Simple as that. It was a bad football move.
That was a bad pick. Cowherd did a great thing on his show. He got a guy to research all 12 players that Rodgers listed in his press conference. There were 3 that did better after they left the Packers. Every other one was not good after that. So they made the right decisions in terms of personnel and business. Unfortunately, you do need to keep your star players somewhat relatively happy in order for them to feel included in the process and things like that. And with the way things are going now, people are just going to force trades. They're going to force this stuff if they have to. They'll sit out. They'll do this. They'll do that. So I hope franchises that drafted guys like Lawrence and Fields and these other guys this year or even last year are taking
Lawrence
note.
Isn't staying with Jacksonville.
What's that?
Lawrence isn't staying with Jacksonville. They haven't kept a first-round pick on a second contract in the last, Justin Blackman. Since Justin Blackman didn't even do it, but he was one.
Yeah.
He started that whole team.
And maybe they will this time around. Wow. They went and got ETN. Burrow got his guy from LSU. So Jamar Chase. So, maybe these guys are maybe general managers are starting to take this stuff into account. Like, we don't want to piss off the franchise guy and end up like this. So
I don't know. Either way, all I'm going to say is that bringing in Randall Cobb, like you said, Josh, it doesn't do anything. I don't want Randall Cobb on my team. I don't think it moves the needle for Rodgers up and down, but it did make him happier. And supposedly they're working on an extension now again, and the talks are back on. Whatever. All right, Dak Prescott has a shoulder injury now. Are we worried at all about the shoulder injury? I think it's non-throwing shoulder, but it is another injury with a quarterback who's coming off a pretty severe injury, who we're already worried about them being kid glovey with and not letting him move out of the pocket, not doing a lot of rollouts.
I mean, they said it was a fatigue injury. Just he's not used to doing this stuff anymore. He was off for however many months rehabbing. So I'm not worried about it until they upgrade the status of it to, because he's day to day right now. They're evaluating him every day and seeing what things feel like. So until it goes from beyond day to day, I'm not too worried about it.
Isn't his number 1 wide receiver injured as well?
Yeah, and also Amari Cooper is on the PUP.
Mm-hmm. That is not good.
Is that still his number 1 wide receiver, though, Josh?
Not in my opinion. I think CeeDee Lamb is.
Well, I think I came on here and said that CeeDee Lamb's going to take over that job.
I've even, I don't remember where it was that I saw that, where it was an article saying that the Dallas Cowboys are becoming increasingly aware and nervous about Amari Cooper's availability and his health. So they're actually like honing in on the fact that he's been a little banged up, a little injured, got this injury going on, got this going on, yada, yada, yada. Can't really give maximum effort. But I don't think he's ever been a maximum effort guy. I mean, I don't really know that much about Amari Cooper, but I think that he has far outperformed anything that he did when he was with the Raiders in Dallas. I mean, he's been very consistent as a player. I think that CeeDee Lamb is a better wide receiver, and I think Michael Gallup has a chance to be a good number 2. I don't know if they need CeeDee Lamb. Or, excuse me, I don't know if they need Amari Cooper.
I don't know if they need him, but
he's played 16 games in all but 2 seasons.
Yeah.
He's out there.
Yeah.
So he'll play at least, it's 17 now. He'll miss 3
and
weeks. He'll play 14 again.
It's not like he's saying
he started his career as being a boomer bust guy. Like, he would do big weeks and terrible weeks. And then he's came pretty consistent over these last couple of years with Dallas. But let's move on to Saquon Barkley, who's currently on the PUP right now. The Giants are going to take the long-term approach with him, which I like for real football, but for fantasy football, as a guy we're talking as a top 6 pick, oof. There's reports that he might not be ready till October. And if your first-round pick is not even going to play till October, then it was the ACL, and so Barkley also had to wait on his injury. But if you listen to the reports on why he had to wait for the ACL. He couldn't get ACL surgery until I think it was his MCL or his meniscus. They had to rehab and repair that first before they go in and fix the ACL.
Yeah, because his knee basically exploded.
Yes, so they had to do other work before they could do the ACL. Get my research here, boys.
Do you know what other running back's knee basically exploded like that? Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
You know who's really good?
And he has arthritis now.
Yep. You know who's no longer good despite not even being in his 30s or even 28? Todd Gurley, I think, is 26, 27.
He's 26, yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Enjoy all of your Saquon Barkleys.
No, but how long after Todd Gurley's knee injury did all that go bad? It wasn't right away.
No, he had a
like
couple
right.
of good years. But
Yeah, well,
let's be real.
great years.
That Rams offense much better than anything this Giants offense is going to hope to be.
It wasn't at first, though. It wasn't until McVay got there.
No,
it was a
but
terrible offense.
They had the personnel in place. They didn't have the scheme, I don't think.
And how do we know the Giants don't? Because we all thought the Rams offense was terrible until Thomas Shea.
We know who the Giants offense was.
Because Jason Garrett's the clapper.
Next year, we don't know. All I want to say, though, is Saquon Barkley.
Jason
see
same guy.
Exactly, same guy. So I see the Saquon Barkley injury more of like Dalvin Cook. Remember Dalvin Cook's first year back from his ACL? Very slow, very bad.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of games in, a lot of games out. Other injuries coming up because he's trying to push through it. I don't want Saquon this year. I want to buy low on Saquon next year.
That's fine.
You understand what I'm saying here? Because I think we've talked about this. Usually an ACL takes a whole nother year to get right. Everybody brings up the Adrian Peterson 2,000 yards. Adrian Peterson he is not a normal human being.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and Saquon is a normal human being.
Yeah,
which means that he'll probably never be the same.
Not the same, but he can. You don't think he can be what Dalvin Cook is?
No, I don't. He wasn't great before that. He broke off a couple of big runs here and there, and he's going to lose that burst. I don't think Saquon's ever going to be the same. I don't think that he's ever going to be close to what he was.
Yeah, I don't think we'll
know. He wasn't
that
great
until that 2022 season. I don't think we'll know what to make of him until we actually see him like really do it.
As long as his backups are Wayne Gallman and Alfred Morris.
Oh yeah, I mean
he's going to be a 3-down back, boys, and those are few and
hard to come by. Yeah. Still though,
take a guy
it's very worrisome.
Give me 25 touches for a running back. I'm probably taking that running back. Opportunity is key. All right, Carson Wentz's foot. I felt a pop. All right.
That's not good.
Might need surgery. The one thing that's different about this, because we talk about foot injuries all the time and how players aren't right. But usually we're talking about skill position. We're talking about wide receivers and running backs who have to cut and plant. Phillip Rivers was out there last year. I'm pretty sure with a walking boot on, he's as mobile as Phillip Rivers was last year.
It's probably fair.
So Carson Wentz, I don't like it. You guys going out and get some Jacob Eason?
No, I'm just avoiding them altogether.
God, Michael Pittman and all these stocks of all these players.
I feel bad for Michael Pittman. That hurts.
Jonathan Taylor, I worry about that. Now he's going to have 8 in the box now because there's nobody to keep it honest.
8 in the box. Well, I don't think that'll bother him at all.
They ain't make it better.
Yeah, they ain't gonna make it better. That offensive line is good. They did re-sign their right tackle, which is very helpful. Braden Smith. I don't know, man. This is not good. I mean, I really thought that he was going to turn some things around. He looked good in his first day of practice. Coming back to camp, 12-20, couple tutters. Pretty good, but
getting this news is all new right now, so we don't know.
I think his foot probably crumbled under the pressure of having to be a good quarterback. And he was like, oh, better not do that. Better just go ahead and take my check. Pretty smart on his part. No criticism if you're hurt.
True.
There are some rumors out there that the Mississippi Mudflap might be on his way to Indy.
Brad, can you tell us about the quote?
Why? Okay, before I give you the quote, Gardner Minshew, why would Jacksonville trade Gardner Minshew? He's cheap.
You get a good pick for him. You get a decent pick for him. You add to that rebuilding roster.
If you do.
They ain't winning now, so.
No, they're not. But if they're looking really bad and Trevor Lawrence is maybe.
No, stop.
No. Maybe they're not looking good. And Trevor Lawrence has a little tight thigh. So then they pulled him out a couple games and put some Gardner Minshew in there.
Stop it.
Because they don't want that. They don't want what happened to Joe Burrow to happen to Trevor Lawrence.
Stop.
That's fair. I mean, they don't. But I think if they can.
I just watched Miami do it with Ryan Fitzpatrick and freaking Tua all last year.
I think if they can get a decent pick for him, I don't see the problem with moving him because then you eliminate any controversy.
You do.
Like if he struggles and they start clamoring for Minshew, if he's not there, you don't have to worry about it.
True. But Minshew did come out and say, and we know Jacksonville fans will love this. If you need the bleep button on, get the bleep button ready. But he says, I haven't taken a shit in weeks because number 2 is not an option for me.
I love it. I love this guy.
And like Josh said, he had to fact check that quote to make sure it wasn't just some fake made up stuff. And that was.
I thought it was a meme quote. I had no idea. Yeah. That's real. I love this guy. Yeah. I'm all about him.
Yeah. I love me some Gardner Minshew too.
They got to cut Tebow and keep Minshew. I mean, that's I'm a Tebow fan, but you got to keep Minshew. He's the man.
All right, I don't want to get into politics, and I want to get through this really quick, but all I want to say is the NFL did come up with rules about COVID. If your team has to forfeit a game because COVID outbreak and you have unvaccinated players that caused it, they will not make that game up. If they can't reschedule it, you'll have to forfeit it. Yeah. So it's big drawn-out rule with the players' conference. So it's affecting – I think it's going to affect some players, maybe some cut bubbles. So players might get cut that have refused to get vaccines over players that haven't. Some coaches have stepped down from teams. The Vikings offensive line coaches left.
Those rules were in effect last year too. Like if they hadn't been able to reschedule some of those games, I know that one week we had like a game every day of the week.
Yes.
If those games hadn't been able to been replayed at some point, that it would have been the same thing.
But this year it's more if they broke protocol. Now it's if you just have unvaccinated players that cause the problem.
There is some slight tweaks, but the Players Association has already
they
signed off on it.
It's legit. So
yeah.
It's just I don't want to get into the politics of all of it. It's just something to look at this year when you're looking at your players.
If you're stacking guys, you need to be worried about it because if it does happen, you're in trouble.
I need a separate show to talk politics.
Exactly. So we're not doing that on this one. Let's get into our QB ranks. I know Josh is super prepared for this.
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, QB ranks. So do we need to start at number 1? We're starting with Hill, right?
The Average Bros did it backwards. So let's do ours. We'll start at the top.
Start at 1. Start at the top. Yeah. Where does the cream always rise, Josh?
It rises to the top.
All right. So Patrick Mahomes is number 1. He's number 1 in Madden, not in arm strength though, but
he's
overall,
not my number 1.
What? Let's hear it.
Josh Allen for redraft.
Okay. Why?
Josh Allen. Why?
Yes.
Rushing upside. Even the year Patrick – okay, so he scored, 405 points last year, and I'm going off a half-point PPR because that's what FSA plays. We play Superflex, tight end premium, half-point PPR. So I'm going off of that. Patrick Mahomes, even in his 50-game season, how many points did he score? I think it was
in a season?
For 50 touchdowns. He scored 50 touchdowns in a season, right? In 18 or 19
his MVP year, yes.
Yes. So he scored. No, that can't be right. Oh, that's standard. I can't change it. Whatever. He didn't score that many. He didn't score as many points. Okay, Rodgers had the best statistical season of his career last year. 48 touchdowns and 6 picks. He was still outscored by multiple quarterbacks that run the ball more effectively. So yes, Josh Allen is my number 1 for upside. Because that's what I'm chasing in a redraft.
On a points per game basis, Patrick Mahomes was the number 1 quarterback in all of fantasy. He played 1 less game than Josh Allen. That's why he's better. I'm not arguing with you because Josh Allen's been number 2. I think he's great, but I don't think that he. Yeah, but I don't see him jumping Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, when he plays, you're always going to start him. There's no matchup you ever set him in. Josh Allen, same thing. Yes, Josh Allen's rushing upside is really great. He has tons of rushing touchdowns. But Patrick Mahomes' consistency over the past, since he's became the starter, has just been. I think
it's incredible.
Left-handed, yeah.
And I wouldn't bat an eye if you took Patrick Mahomes over Josh Allen, and I wouldn't bat an eye if you took Allen over Mahomes.
And there's a fear that Josh Allen's last year could be an outlier year.
Could be,
because it's only 1 year of him doing it.
Yep, but they were the third most in passing attempts last year out of any team in the league.
And they threw on first down the most of any team in the NFL as well.
Yep. And they don't run the ball ever.
They might.
Unless it's with him.
Yeah. All right. So we both said, I'm guessing, Eric, that your number 2 is Patrick Mahomes then?
No,
Okay, now we're getting blasphemy here.
it's Kyler Murray.
Mike.
On a per game basis, he was 1 point fewer. He scored. He threw 26 touchdowns, but he rushed for 11. They don't have a running game. Again, he's going to run the ball. I know he says he wants his legs to be a luxury. Again, I'm chasing upside. These guys scored 390 plus points last year. Him and Allen.
Okay, Kyler's my 3. I do like Kyler's upside on rushing, and I like the fact that he has DeAndre Hopkins. AJ Green, even if AJ Green's a shadow of himself, it's another body. They're going 5 wide receivers because they have no tight ends there.
And that should just open things up for him to pass better.
It should. It should. You're right.
And run better.
But I know what Patrick Mahomes gives me. And when it comes to taking a quarterback that early, what we're talking about taking these guys, I am going with the consistency of Patrick Mahomes. That's me.
Okay.
Josh, who do you have at 3, Josh?
Kyler Murray. I don't have a lot to say.
I got Kyler Murray at 3.
That's decision making.
Eric, who do you have at 3?
Lamar Jackson.
Oh my gosh.
Stop. Calm down. It's my list. Lamar Jackson. There's only one guy that's rushed for 1,000 yards twice as a quarterback, and that's him. He scored 421 points 2 seasons ago. He's a beast. They'll be fine. His crappy passing game coordinator is gone now too. Lamar Jackson, number 3 for me. Rushing upside. Rushing yards are worth more than passing yards. And everything's equal for touchdowns in our league. So it's redraft. It's 1 year.
Is he
I'm taking the upside.
One year.
I'm taking the upside.
Is he at least in your top 5?
Who? Patty Mahomes?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he is. I'm not an idiot.
I was hoping you were like, I just forgot the ranking because I thought we weren't doing the best guy.
No. I know where I want my guys.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right.
So you said your number 3 was Lamar Jackson. My number 4 is Lamar Jackson. You talked about it. Great rushing upside. I still don't like the fact that he doesn't have a lot of great weapons. I wish he had a true number 1 wide receiver like Josh Allen got. I think that could change away his trajectory of his career. But they are the run heaviest team in the league, and they do very, very, very crazy things with the run. Josh, who do you have at number 4?
Dak Attack. Number 4 on his jersey, number 4 in my heart, Dak Prescott.
All right.
He was so good fantasy-wise last year when he was playing in those 5 games. He actually had more points per game than any other quarterback, scoring 27. He was phenomenal. He had to do everything because the defense was terrible. Obviously, Mike McCarthy brought in Mike Nolan, who is a terrible defensive coordinator, one of the worst in the NFL. He got fired after 1 season. Mike McCarthy is still the guy calling the shots, though. So I understand they have a new defensive coordinator in there, but the defense isn't going to be much better. They drafted Michael Parsons, which should help, but he's still a rookie. You can't expect a lot right now. I expect Dak to be great. I expect him to be great statistically. I don't know how great the team will be, but statistically, this team he's going to put up some numbers.
Yeah, my biggest fear with Dak, he's a little lower on my list, is because I worry about they'll maybe trying to tailor the offense to maybe protect him a little more, not let him get hurt, because they saw what happened to their season when he went down. And most teams, your star quarterback goes down, your team's not going to perform well. So that's my biggest fear, is that Mike McCarthy's all over it. Eric, who do you have at number 4?
Patrick Mahomes.
Thank God. All right, cool. Patrick Mahomes. I was getting nervous there.
I was talking about his MVP year earlier. He threw for over 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, and he barely cracked 400 points. So it's going to it takes a lot more for him, a guy that doesn't run the ball as much. He's not their first red zone option, to score that many points. That's why I like these other guys.
Okay. I disagree, but that's fine.
That's why it's a free country.
We're allowed to disagree.
Yes, we are.
All right. At number 5, Eric, who do you have?
I got Prescott at 5.
Okay, you got Dak Prescott at 5.
Yeah. He was on pace to
Yeah.
break Peyton Manning's record by like 1,000 yards or something crazy like that last year, his passing yardage record.
It was
Do I think he's
up.
Well, yeah, I'm saying on pace. Would he have done that? Probably not. But
Yeah, Mariota had a great pace too for his one
yeah.
game.
But that defense is going to be that defense was historically bad last year. I was thinking about this in my head. I was like, how many times have I heard the Dallas defense be historically bad? It seems like they always find a way to set a new bar for being crappy on defense. So they're going to have to throw plenty. Don't worry about that. And Zeke will probably get 20 to 25 touches no matter what. So fire all those guys
McCarthy said he wants to hold him down, doesn't want him running the ball so much and get worn out. I told you, Mike McCarthy's going to McCarthy all over this.
Yeah.
Kellen Moore's like, please, can you just leave me alone?
Well, he'll still probably get more. He'll get more passing, bet down work, and he'll be okay. He'll get plenty of touches.
My number 5 is Russell Wilson, right?
Okay.
Tell 2 seasons last year. Started the first half of the season off, let Russ cook all over the world. Second half of the season, offense got pretty stale. DK Metcalf came out and said they kind of knew what we were going to do. Kind of really affected us. So I think with him having DK Metcalf and having Tyler Lockett, bringing in another early wide receiver pick, Chris Carson's still there. It's still Russell Wilson. Problem is that he has to be super efficient because they usually don't let him throw the ball like the rest of, like he's not throwing the ball as many times as Josh Allen is fighting Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
If he does, he can light it up. We've seen it when he gets to throw the ball 30 times. But I like Russell Wilson a lot. And like you said, Eric, the legs when he runs the ball. I mean, he's not rushing for the 500 yards he used to in his early years, but he's still getting the 200 and 300 yard range.
Well, he did hit 500 last year, but yeah, normally he's more in the 200 to 400 area lately.
Josh, did you give me your 5? Who is your number 5?
I did not. It is the MVP, Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers finished second overall last year in fantasy points for quarterbacks. I don't expect him to do that well, but he's still going to do pretty good. And now he's a little happier, okay? Got engaged, got Randall Cobb back. He's making the Packers leadership bend the knee. I totally think Aaron Rodgers is going to be great this year. If not, more than anything, to just show off his potential for whenever he signs with his new team in the 2022 offseason. Aaron Rodgers, number 5 for me easily. I picked him over a couple of guys who I thought are still going to be good, but Aaron Rodgers, number 5.
Okay. Eric, do you have a 6?
I have Russell Wilson at 6.
Okay. Anything you want to add to Russell Wilson? Okay.
No.
My 6 is Dak Prescott. I said the only reason he's down underneath these guys is just the injury concern of just coming back from an injury. Josh, who is your number 6?
Well, originally it was Deshaun Watson, but I don't think he's going to play, and he just lost Randall Cobb, so that's a big downside. So I'm going to go with Russell
He's got
Wilson.
Anthony Miller now.
Yeah, he does. So that was the replacement, which is an upgrade, honestly, over Randall Cobb. But
Kinda is.
Yeah, for me, it's Russ. Maybe they'll let him cook. Maybe they won't. Who cares? I hate him. So
yeah. All right. And then we are at 7. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep. All right. 7. I have Aaron Rodgers 7. The reason he's behind the other guys is the legs. Like he had to have perfect passing last year to get to the second or third, depending on your scoring format. And he's not repeating that.
Reasoning. Okay.
No, I'm with you on that. I believe in you on that. But that's why he's 7. He's still 7. I'm still putting him in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like you guys last year who said Aaron Rodgers is going to fall out of the top 10. Not going that crazy with it.
Well, he threw 26 touchdowns the 2 years before that. I mean, come on. It was a fair assumption. Nobody thought he was going to go 48-5 next year.
He was still a QB1 those 2 years, though, wasn't he?
He was. You're not wrong.
Exactly.
But he wasn't like a top 5 guy.
All right, Josh, who do you have at number 7?
the next guy on my list is Lamar Jackson.
All right.
I think that's about where he'll finish. I mean, I don't think he's going to be great. I don't think that he's going to be terrible. I think 7, middle of the road QB1. I feel pretty confident about that.
But if they could get him a number 1 wide receiver,
Didn't they draft several of them?
No.
Oh, Devin Duvernay.
Justin Bateman.
Rashad Bateman?
Rashad Bateman might be the guy. We'll see.
Miles Boykin they drafted, who's now running with the second team. They drafted several guys.
If
Several
old Mark
guys, but
Andrews gets
all-
rid of the dropsies, he might have a few more points this year too.
But they're not drafting the first round wide receiver talent. You know what I'm saying? They're not going out and getting a CD Lamb.
They're not
and stuff
picking
like
there.
that. Exactly.
move up.
I think that's the problem is that where they're at, they're not getting the guys, the Jamar Chases of the world.
They need to be worse so they can be better.
Exactly.
They could move
Or
up and get 'em.
or they get a deal like the Bills did, and they go out and get a Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Something like that. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be aggressive. You got to
I
go
wonder
get
if
it.
they tried to get Julio, didn't they?
I mean,
Julio Jones?
I'm pretty sure every team did.
Yeah.
You mean Waffle House?
I love those
Fine.
cleats.
Cool.
He said they called him Waffle House in high school because he's always open.
Nice.
I like
not,
that.
in the end zone. All right, number 7. Who you got, Eric?
I have Deshaun Watson at 7. He's not on the exempt list as of now, and he's at camp and he's playing, so I'm going to rank him right now. I'd rather be right to rank him than not.
Yeah,
So-
and I mean, honestly, if he's playing, he's way up higher on the boards. I have him ranked. I have him a lot lower because I'm building in.
Yeah, they're going to have to throw it a ton. Their defense isn't going to be good. It's similar to Dak's stuff. They have no running game.
And if he goes to Philly, it's just as good. I mean, he makes players better.
If he ends up at Philly, the offensive line it's a lateral move, but as far as the weapons go, he's in better shape there for sure.
Maybe he's a Colt. Now that Carson Wentz.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's really interesting.
They got
I don't think they would do that though.
They got some cap space.
They do. All right, and then we have that's in the division, isn't it? It's kind of hard to do that one.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
That's one probably not having in the division.
Philly might.
Number
Green.
8. Number 8, Josh. Who you got?
D-Watt, baby. I love
Deshaun
Deshaun
Watson?
Watson as a football player. I think that he would be higher on my list had it not been for some other things surrounding the team. But yes, Deshaun Watson, fantastic quarterback.
Eric 8.
Ryan Tannehill.
Boom, baby! I knew you were going to do it. That's where I have him.
He was fantastic last year, super efficient, and now he's got Julio too. Get out of here to the moon.
Do you worry
Who's
at all
next
about
on the
losing
list?
the offensive coordinator affecting?
No, I look trying to read as much as I could about, especially because I made that trade with you, Brad, for him. I've looked at as much as I could about the new offensive coordinator. He is a disciple of the gentleman that left to go coach the Atlanta Falcons.
Who traded him? Julio?
As far as I know,
Who traded him, Julio?
Yeah, who traded him, Julio? As far as I know, they haven't changed any terminology. They haven't changed any real game plan. The only thing that I could really find that he wants to do is to add some more innovation to make full use of Derrick Henry and make sure that they're scheming open A.J. Brown all the time. So I'm not worried about it. I think they'll be fine.
All right, my number 8 is Tannehill. My number 9, though, is the Super Bowl winner. The guy who brings championships to every city he goes to.
That's my guy.
Tampa Bay Lightning, you're welcome. Tampa Bay Rays, you made it to a World Series because
So you saw that thing too? That
Yes.
Tom Brady is Title Town?
Tom Brady, Title Town.
Wherever
When
he lives.
retires, there's going to be cities paying him to live there.
Yep, for sure.
Tom Brady is my number 9.
Uh-huh.
He has a bye week in 9. It's all 9s around. He's bringing back his whole offense. The run game there is something. It ain't nothing fancy. He's gonna
Healthy
use his
Chris
weapon.
Godwin for hopefully 16 games is going to
Even
be
if he doesn't,
magical.
He has a Mike Evans. He has an O.J. Howard who's coming back.
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown should be back. He's dealing
Lenny
with
Fournette, Ndamukong Suh. The team is
They brought
stacked.
back everybody.
stacked.
Yep.
So with the
Did you see
weapons
him
he
on
has, with the talent he has, with the fun-loving Tom Brady we're seeing now.
Did you see him throwing at the jugs machine?
Wait. You mean they brought the entire team back? Because he took less money. Oh.
Not only did he take less money, he convinced other players like Mike Evans to restructure their deals to make sure they could re-sign linebackers and get Chris Godwin on the tag.
You got the captain, the linebacker, the captain of the defense too, to take less money, I believe too.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, because he's like, we're going to run it back, and I'm
for
going to
the
get another ring.
betterment of the team.
Yes.
I don't. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Who'd you have at
but
9,
we can
Josh?
say whatever we want. But in fantasy, and he plays in Tampa now, where the weather's nicer. He gets to play in Atlanta in the winter. He doesn't have to go to crappy Buffalo and play in the winter, or go down to Miami and for some reason play in the winter and play bad, who seem to beat them in for some reason all the time. He gets to play in Tampa.
Yep. So I gotta bring up MJ's comment here. She says, finally Tannehill. The only reason he's not listed a little bit higher is he just does not see the passing volume that these guys get close to. Most of these guys are up around 550 attempts. He didn't even crack 500 last year. He's just super duper efficient, but he gets sneaky touchdowns, especially in the red zone. He had 7 rushing touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
So
honestly,
if you draft him at 7 or 8, you're getting him probably at his ceiling.
Yeah.
But he's really good.
And he's similar to Russell Wilson, who doesn't get a lot. The thing is, Wilson's been doing it for longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So who do you have at 9, Eric? You have Tom Brady because you went all crazy when I called it.
TB12. Let's go.
Yeah, I almost want to put him at 12 just because, but I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Josh, who do you have at 9?
I had Tannehill there.
All right.
Did you? Okay. All right. Number 10, Josh, who do you got?
Number 10, I decided to go with old Herbert. Justin Herbert, baby.
That's who I had at 10 as well.
10.
Did we all go 10? Where's 10? Did we go 10 because he was 10? I wasn't going any lower than 10.
No, I went to. He would have been higher based on what he did last year, but I mean, let's just calm down. Sophomore, slump a little bit. Let's 1 year guy. I like what I saw from him. I like what I saw from him.
All new coaching staff. I don't know if it's good or bad. Everybody's like it's a defensive-minded coach. Who's a former quarterback though?
Yeah. Based on what he did last year with Keenan Allen being banged up and Austin Eckler also being banged up, I can see him repeating what he did last year if those guys are healthy. 100%.
But he was kind of playing with house money. Nobody
expected
to do anything.
He was. He also didn't play a full season either. He missed the first 3 weeks, was it?
2.
Well, that's still games worth of points. So
yeah, no, I know. But I love Justin Herbert. I just worry about there being some regression this year, and the hype is very, very high on him, especially in Dynasty. And there's some other guys out there that are going to be better this year for you. Mm-hmm. So we all went Justin Herbert 10. Cool. 11. Who you got, Eric? Let's try to get through.
Matt Stafford.
Dude, why am I even here? Why am I even getting my rankings? You got my rankings?
I had
Scorched earth, man.
I had
Scorched earth.
Yeah.
They got no running game now with Cam Akers going down with the Achilles, which sucks. But McVay is going to dial it up, man. He's like, I got a quarterback that can make all the throws now. Let's do it. And Brad, you've been listening to Flying Coach.
Dude.
McVay's going to get it done, and he's going to get it done with him. So they'll be good. Their offense is going to be really good. Not worried about it.
And Stafford Matty Snapback coming back. I'm just saying. Get the remember when they used to talk about his Hall of Fame bus?
Having a snapback on it? Yeah. Why not?
Just like King Griffey got on his.
Well, got to do a little better.
Oh,
got to actually win some there. Matty Snapback.
No, you don't. You got to make the stats. So all right, so I had Matt Stafford there. Josh, who did you have at 11?
I had Brady and then Stafford. So Brady 11, Stafford 12.
Okay, my 12 is Jalen Hurts.
Okay,
I didn't know what to do with this guy. I just feel like if he starts for the Eagles with his rushing upside, 12 is probably or somewhere between 12 and 14 is where he's going to finish. If he can give me 14 to 17 games.
Yeah.
But everything's so in flux. He's such a big wild card. We don't know what's going on. I don't know what that offense is going to look like. So many question marks here for Philadelphia all around. But I couldn't go outside the top 12 with him because I think he's got the legs to make him a QB1.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. He's one of those guys that a lot of fantasy pundits describe as a Konami code, cheat code kind of guy because of the rushing upside. So for those of you that are too young to know what the Konami code is, look it up.
Game Genie.
You need a Game Genie for the Konami code. Anyway.
Yep. Who did you have at 12, Eric?
I got Kirk Cousins. Brad, he's your one of your accounting stats guys.
Yeah.
He ain't sexy. You don't want to start him. But damn it, he's going to put up some numbers. He had 20 points a game last year. I was kind of surprised by that.
He's not going to win you a week. He might lose you a week, but he'll just be right there just counting up stats.
He's got Justin Jefferson. He's got Adam Thielen. He's got Dalvin Cook. They're all awesome weapons. If they're healthy, his offensive line isn't too bad. They'll be just fine.
Is he a high-paid version of Teddy Bridgewater? Let's be honest.
Who?
Yeah, I would say so. he makes accurate throws like to the short and intermediate routes, but doesn't really have like a great deep ball. Yeah, I would say that's fair. Although Teddy's a little bit more mobile. Well, he used to be. That needed.
Josh, who do you got at 12?
For me, rounding out my top 12, I said Stafford was after Brady.
So, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Just
All right. My 13 is Deshaun Watson. We've talked about him to death. Eric, who you got 13?
I got Hurts at 13.
Okay.
I didn't want him inside the top 12 just because of the offensive line there and everything's weird.
I like Hurts' mobility, but I had to go my boy Joey Burrow. Those weapons are just too good. Cincinnati might have one of the most sneaky good wide receiver cores in all of football.
I don't think it's sneaky.
You know what you need to do to get to the wide receivers? You need an offensive line that gives you a chance to get a 3-step drop or a 5-step drop. And I don't think he's going to have time for that.
Took Penny Sewell.
But you got to think that he was already a top fantasy quarterback, a QB1 last year with that terrible offensive line. So I'm not.
How many times was he throwing the ball a game? 40 to 50?
Hey, let's go.
44, I think he averaged.
You cannot survive a season doing that.
No.
Let's go.
They got to run the ball with Mixon this year. They got to establish the run.
And after him, I had Jalen Hurts because I like his rushing upside. So he's 14 for me.
All right. My 14 is Matt Ryan. It ain't sexy. It ain't pretty. It's just Matt Ryan. And that's why I put Jalen Hurts in the top 12 because all these guys coming after him are dudes that, like, you're probably going to own. You're probably going to play them. You're not really going to like it. You're not really going to hate it. You're just going to be meh. At least Jalen Hurts, I know, could possibly win me a week.
Mm-hmm. You could.
Like Matt Ryan's just going to be there, especially now that he's got, the second coming of Travis Kelce. So that means he's not going to be anything for his first 4 years in the season. That's what I love when you got Darren Waller at 24. I was like, Darren Waller at 24 was kicked out of the league for drug abuse. Like, what are you guys comparing him to?
Yeah, that's true.
Whoa. No, that's what I'm saying. People keep saying, like, wouldn't you want Travis Kelce at 22? Like, Travis Kelce.
Yeah, if he was the Travis Kelce of now in his 22-year-old body, sure, yeah. But he wasn't that guy then.
Yeah.
Why are you hating?
I don't hate. Comps are really people don't think about the comps when they say it.
Haters be learners.
A better comp for like measurable stuff is Calvin Johnson, and he looks like a wide receiver. He does not look like a tight end. I'm sorry, he just doesn't.
But he's
I didn't want to bring him up. I just didn't. Matt Ryan is so boring to talk about. There ain't really much to talk about with Matt Ryan.
He's my 14 as well.
He's your 14, and Josh, you said your 14 was.
It was Jalen Hurts.
All right, cool. 15 for me is Kirk Cousins. Again, just
me too.
Yeah, it's Kirk Cousins. Like,
yeah.
When I wait on quarterback and everybody else has 2 quarterbacks, I'm taking Kirk Cousins, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm not gonna like this, but I gotta do it.
Yeah,
it's just like broccoli. You're not gonna like it, but it's good for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Eric, who do you have at 15?
I have Burrow at 15. The injury, it'll take another year for him to be right. And again, if he's running for his life when he comes back, oh God, it makes me sad for him.
Yep. At 16, I have my first rookie, Trevor Lawrence, coming off the board at 16.
Oh.
You two there, Josh?
Yeah.
I don't know what to think about this Jacksonville offense. I don't know. DJ Chark's coming in a little stronger, a little bigger. Trevor Lawrence can do some things. It's 16. Like I said.
Urban Meyer. You got Tebow out there, so they got God on their side. I feel good. About this.
They bring Terrell Pryor in too.
T. Priest.
Jr.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alex Smith going to be a coach?
He should be.
He should, honestly.
Who do you have at 16, Eric?
I got, much like Chris Farley's 13 heart attacks in that SNL skit for the Bears, I got Baker Mayfield at 16 here.
And I think,
Baker's doesn't.
Josh, you brought up a lot of Baker Mayfield. He played in some monsoon, terrible weather games last year. If you take those games out, like he had really good games. Like he was not bad. People dog on him so much, and I don't know why. And he had no weapons a lot of the year. And Odell Beckham is back, baby. He is practicing. He's not on the pup.
Hasn't been good in 3 years, so let's just
calm down. Come on. He hasn't been healthy in 3 years. And
That's true.
His last year in New York, he was the only one throwing touchdown passes. That's true, too.
He hasn't been healthy in 3 years because he's washed. So let's think about it.
You need to go wash your underwear after that comment. Hey, yo. My 17's Baker Mayfield.
There you go.
Joshua, you got 17.
Matt Ryan.
Cool. Boring. Eric, 17.
Cameron, Jarrell, Newton.
Hey!
How many touchdown passes did he throw last year?
I was like 11. Hang on, let me look. I have it.
I don't think it was
He
double
threw
digits.
10.
Oh, he got to double digits.
No, wait. 8. It was
That was
8
nice.
touchdowns,
There it
10
is.
interceptions. But
There it is.
12 rushing touchdowns.
Hey!
So
Okay.
I'm
Fantasy.
thinking,
I'm surprised he's not in
thinking-
your top 4.
calm down.
Fantasy, Brad. Brad, fantasy. You gotta think
Yeah.
fantasy.
No, I know.
So even if he does like if he throws 20 touchdowns and 10 interceptions
more-
and rushes for 12, he'll be fine.
He had more costume changes at press conferences than he had touchdown passes. I can't get on board with that.
You're such a hater.
He's got a
I
lot
am.
of weapons, and his rushing touchdown stuff is just crazy. And no, I'm sorry, Damian Harris is not taking goal line work for him. You can Bill Belichick can say
body
he's the
can't
one
hold-
guy, but he's not.
His body can't hold up to 16 games of doing it. That's my problem with it. He'll be great for 4 to 6 games.
He doesn't need to. He finished 16th last year, and he barely played. You don't have to be good to be fantasy relevant. Look
No, I'm not saying he's good.
Jameis Winston, 30 for 30. He was a top 5 guy that year. You don't have to be
I'm
good.
not saying he has to be good. I'm saying he has to play. I need him on the field. At the
Again,
end of
he
the season.
barely played last year, and he still finished 16th. He'll be okay.
Barely
He'll get
played
there.
last year. Exactly right. I need him on the field. Like we say, I don't like Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins give me points every week.
That's true. Well, Cam Newton got you 18 a game when he played. So
When he plays.
I think he'll be good. I think the shoulder's good. I think he's over the COVID stuff. He's still 6'5", 245. He's still a big fella. He'll
With
get
no
in there.
shoulder.
Brad's just a hater, man.
He doesn't have
I
to.
mean,
Doesn't have to have a
He's-
shoulder. He's going to dump it off to Jonnu Smith and Hunter
Josh,
Henry.
did you say who your 17 is?
Big Ben. Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Another. Did you see his practice photo?
But he looks
Ice
like
on
me in a
shoulder,
shirt.
Ice on elbow, ice on both knees, just walking around there like vintage Dikembe Mutombo and the Sixers.
That's my
So-
boy.
Hang on, I got to talk about Ben Roethlisberger real quick. So last year we talked about it. He said, "Oh yeah, my elbows never felt so good. I feel like I'm 26." Blah blah blah. The reconstructed elbow. Then they asked him at the end of the season, "Well, man, you kind of struggled. Like, what do you think was the problem?" He's like, "Oh, you think it was my reconstructed elbow?" This year he comes into camp. He's like, "Yeah, I'm super healthy. I feel better than I ever had." Then he walks into camp and he looks like me in a t-shirt, which is not good. Full on dad bod.
I think you look great.
You're full of crap, Ben. You're not coming in any kind of shape. You're not going to be good. Your statue. Yeah. I think where you have him in below is appropriate ranking for Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. My number 18, though, is the reason I'm not on board with Cameron Newton and Ben Roethlisberger. It's because it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's in the best offense of his life.
Stop.
He has
Stop.
found his niche there with Riverboat Ron.
See,
Who's
Brad
gonna
still
let
owes him for that
go.
title he took from you, Josh. So
Dude,
that's
number
why I ranked him
18.
so high.
Number
Blindly
18.
loyal.
Oh, I am taking in a redraft league. I will take Ryan Fitzpatrick at the end there all day. In a 2 QB league, I'm trying to get Ryan Fitzpatrick as my second quarterback. Not even worried about it. He'll be up there just slinging the rock
Mhm.
because Antonio Gibson ain't running the ball 25 times, and they're gonna have to move it. And there's only one boy that can do it, and that's Mr. Grab my face mask, rip my helmet around, and I'll bomb that touchdown pass.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He is a
He is a
true gunslinger.
Harvard graduate. You want to do some calculus? He'll do some calculus mid-play. All right?
Stop. Stop.
You think he'd be better if he could do calculus that fast, but
Oh, and you guys, we all love Gardner Minshew. Let's be honest. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a more, I'm just going to say educated because he has a Harvard degree, and mature version of Gardner Minshew. He walks
Gardner
around.
Minshew is Ryan Fitzpatrick 2.0. Is that what you're saying? Basically?
No, they're just like, they're the same person, just a couple generations apart.
Okay.
Because remember when he was in Tampa with the shirt, with the taco meat just hanging out, walking around? You guys,
that's
I
great.
mean, yeah, he's a fun-loving dude. He's a Riverboat Ron. It's going to be good times. I'm just saying.
On a points per game basis last year, he was 20th behind Gardner Minshew.
Points
Yeah,
per
Cam
game.
Newton.
Is that counting the
Cam
games that he got pulled in and had to come in the fourth quarter to try to salvage a Tua poop
Nope,
fest?
nine games.
Exactly.
Talk about
'cause he
my
came
boy
in
like that.
there was some of those games he only played in quarters. I want his points per quarter.
Points per quarter.
He
Yeah.
was, Stop. He's trash.
Hey, do his points per passing attempt because you know who had terrible points per passing attempt? Dak Prescott.
Yeah, because he threw it like 50 times a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever. Is he going to keep throwing 50 times a game?
Volume's king.
If he had had Waffle House on his team, not a problem.
Exactly.
Always open.
All right. Who'd you guys have at 18? If it ain't Ryan Fitzpatrick, you're wrong.
I had Tua at 18.
I did not have either one of those guys. I had Baker there.
Yep.
Tua's dropping dimes in camp, boys. Dimes.
All right. I'm not going to go through the rest of your guys. Where's your next Eric, have you said Trevor yet? Where's your first rookie?
He's my next guy at 19.
All right, 19 for you. Josh, where is your next rookie? Because me and you both did Trevor Lawrence at 16. So where's your next rookie?
After Baker, I had Derek Carr, and then I had Justin Fields.
Justin Fields is my next rookie as well at 23. More or less just because I don't think he's going to play enough games to be a top quarterback. He's not going to come in early enough. He hasn't looked good in camp either, which is kind of making me a little nervous here. Yeah. They say Andy Dalton's been the true number one in camp right now.
Not worried about it.
No, I'm not worried about it either, but I think for this year only, when you're looking at stats.
Yeah. I didn't rank Fields. I didn't rank
only.
Anybody that was in like a platoon like that, like Garoppolo and Lance, or even though I think Fields will take over, I think Lance will take over.
I think Trey Lance takes over next year.
I think
Garoppolo
will get hurt and he'll come in.
But, maybe that might be the only case he comes in this year.
But yeah, I had T-Law at 19, and I put Zach Wilson at 23. I don't trust rookies. I don't trust that offense, and I don't trust the Jets as an organization.
Where'd you guys put Jared Goff?
I didn't.
I put him 32, and there's backups ahead of him.
I didn't rank 32. I ranked 24.
Where'd you guys put Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater? Did you guys rank them at all?
Platoon. Didn't rank them.
Exactly.
No idea who's going to play.
Mac Jones above them.
I put T-Law,
Mac and
Ben,
cheese.
Derek Carr, Darnold, Wilson, and Fitz.
All right.
To round out my last 6.
I mean, I like Ryan Fitzpatrick as a streamer. He gets to play Dallas. He gets to play the Eagles twice a year. Come on.
He sure does, Bob.
That's another thing you got to look at, too.
And the Giants. Oof.
Yeah. Giants had decent defense last year. They weren't Eagles and Cowboys bad.
No, but they're all pretty terrible defenses. So not historically bad like the Cowboys, but pretty awful.
All right, Josh, once you're ready, you can send us out of here and we can go home. Next week, we'll be coming out with running back ranks. Where y'all putting makers at?
We'll be ranking and Cam Makers. Thanks for tuning in to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Josh. You can check me out on Twitter at EmptyWagon, at FFJoshHughes. You can check out the show at Empty Wagon FF on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Brad's going to be at Tack Jones, and Eric is at Guns of Eld 19. Please check out our website at fsa-fr.com. We love you guys. If you guys ever want to reach out, just let us know what's up, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.